Most people believe money is the foundation of wealth, a bedrock that will always hold value. But history tells a different story. Time and again, empires, nations, and entire economies have watched their currencies collapse, their savings vanish, and their financial systems crumble. Money, it turns out, is not a permanent fortress, but a fragile illusion built on trust. From the Roman denarius to the Weimar Republic's hyperinflation, from the collapse of the Confederate dollar to the recent crisis in Lebanon, the pattern repeats. Money fails. But what happens then? What truly survives when the numbers on your bank statement become meaningless? This question is not just academic. It is a survival question, one that has shaped the fate of civilizations and the lives of millions. To understand what endures beyond money's failure, we must first understand what money really is and why it fails. Money is not wealth itself. It is a social contract, a shared belief in value. When that belief breaks, money becomes worthless paper or digital numbers. But wealth, real wealth, is something else entirely. It is tangible, it is productive, and it is deeply human. History is littered with examples of currency collapse, each with its own causes and consequences, but all sharing a common thread: the breakdown of trust. Take the Roman Empire. The silver denarius, once a symbol of imperial power, was gradually debased by emperors desperate to fund endless wars and public spectacles. Silver content shrank, coins became tin with a silver wash, and trust evaporated. Prices soared, markets froze, and the economy spiraled into chaos. Centuries later, the Byzantine Empire repeated the same mistake with its gold solidus. Initially the most trusted coin in the medieval world, it too was debased, leading to economic instability and loss of confidence. Fast forward to the 20th century, and the Weimar Republic's hyperinflation shows the devastating speed at which money can fail. People carried wheelbarrows full of worthless marks, savings were wiped out overnight, and social order teetered on the brink. More recently, Lebanon's banking crisis froze deposits and rendered the Lebanese pound nearly worthless, destroying the life savings of ordinary citizens. Each collapse teaches the same lesson. Money's value depends on trust in the government, trust in institutions, and trust in the system. When that trust breaks, money fails. If money is fragile, what then holds value when it fails? History points to several enduring forms of wealth that survive financial collapse. Real assets, land, gold, food, and tangible goods have consistently preserved value. During the Black Death in medieval Europe, land became abundant and cheap, but those with liquidity could buy it and rise in status. After the Weimar hyperinflation, gold and foreign currency were the only safe havens. Skills and productive capacity also endure. The baker who can still make bread, the farmer who can grow food, the craftsman who can repair tools. These people remain valuable even when money loses meaning. Production never fails because people always need to eat, build, and trade. Trust and social capital are less tangible but equally vital. Communities that maintain cooperation, honesty, and mutual support survive crises better than those fractured by greed and corruption. Our competitor's analysis highlights a crucial insight from history. Money is not just an economic tool but a moral ecosystem. When money fails, it often reflects a deeper failure of ethics and social responsibility. Hoarding wealth, speculation, corruption, and manipulation erode the trust that underpins money. When societies prioritize greed over contribution, they sow the seeds of collapse. Conversely, wealth that circulates, that supports labor, trade, and community strengthens social bonds and economic resilience. This moral dimension explains why some societies weather financial storms better than others. It is not just what you own, but how you use it that determines survival. Looking at past financial collapses reveals patterns and lessons for today. Diversify your assets. Relying solely on cash or local currency is risky. Real estate, precious metals, and foreign assets provide protection. Build skills and productive capacity. Money can vanish, but skills endure. Investing in education and practical abilities is a safeguard. Maintain social trust. Integrity in business and governance sustains economic systems. Corruption accelerates collapse. Prepare for volatility. Financial systems are inherently unstable. Expect cycles of boom and bust and plan accordingly. These lessons are not just theoretical. They have practical implications for individuals, businesses, and governments navigating today's uncertain economic landscape. Today's global economy faces challenges eerily similar to those of the past. Record levels of debt, speculative bubbles, Widening inequality and declining trust in institutions mirror the conditions that preceded historic collapses. Cryptocurrencies, shadow banking, and complex financial instruments add new layers of risk and uncertainty. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed vulnerabilities in supply chains and economic systems, redistributing wealth and power in ways reminiscent of past pandemics. Understanding what survives when money fails is more urgent than ever. It is a guide to resilience in a world where financial stability is no longer guaranteed. Resilience is the ability to absorb shocks and adapt to change. When money fails, resilience determines who survives and who perishes. Building resilience means diversifying wealth across assets and geographies, developing skills that meet essential needs, fostering community networks that provide mutual support, advocating for transparent and accountable institutions. Resilience is not just financial, it is social and moral. It requires foresight, discipline, and a commitment to shared prosperity. Money will continue to evolve, but its fate will always depend on trust and human behavior. As technology advances, new forms of money and value exchange will emerge. But the lessons of history remain clear. Without ethics, transparency, and social responsibility, financial systems will fail. What survives when money fails is not just gold or land, but the human capacity to create, cooperate, and rebuild. In a world where money can fail, the true wealth lies in resilience, trust, and the ability to adapt. If this perspective gave you new insights, hit subscribe. History has the answers, and I'll show you where to look.